Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sally Limis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. CNMI government begins the first batch of cuts, affecting over 300 employees. Also tonight, boost investigations move up to enforcement agencies. And Guam partners are on island to provide spay and neuter services. In sports, looking for a run event? We got one coming up. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. Cost-cutting measures in the CNMI government begins with personnel funded by ARPA. Government employees are expected to experience furloughs or cuts in hours in the months ahead, beginning with ARPA-funded personnel.
We are in a very sad state now in terms of employment in the government. Eventually, those employees will be laid off.
Joseph Pangilinan, who is the Employee Development and Staffing Chief over at the Office of Personnel Management, spoke before Rotary members on Tuesday, informing them of the CNMI government employment status. He says over 300 employees who are ARPA funded will be receiving their 60-day termination notice by this Friday. Some have already been informed.
I believe before January 27, memos are going out now to employees that are on ARPA, limited term, ARPA accepted service employees. So they're going to be receiving a 60-day notice for them to vacate the position once that 60 days notice comes out.
Limited term hires are also expected to receive a termination letter soon. Pagilinan states the language and time frame may be a bit different for them.
They may be looking at resorting to the reduction in force because they are in a department rather than under the governor's office.
Former Governor Ralph Torres allocated ARPA funds to create at least 500 jobs under the executive branch. Half of those contracts expired on December 31st and were not renewed by Governor Arnold Palacios. The remaining contracts are set to expire this coming September, but the administration issued a memorandum earlier this week informing department and agency heads of the 60-day notice. The memo stated that current government financial resources may not be sufficient to current size of operations, and a comprehensive assessment is needed due to funding constraints. Lawmakers pass on boost investigations to enforcement partners. Subpoena documents and recordings of boost hearings done by the 22nd Legislature now sits on the desks of the Office of the Public Auditor and Office of the Attorney General. The new House Committee on Judiciary and Governmental Operations says they will not conduct any more additional hearings regarding the boost program, giving way and avoiding conflict with the ongoing criminal investigation. The FBI recently executed a subpoena at the Bank of Saipan, which has resulted in the suspension of the boost program. In a release from the office of the JGO chairwoman Marissa Flores, it states their attention will turn to legislative solutions to the current economic situation. Governor Arnold Palacios, on his part, also mentions that proper agencies are handling the matter.
We've talked to the Attorney General already about that, and he is certainly looking at it. And so I don't want to go beyond that. The legislature has done a tremendous job with a lot of the information that came up, and it basically exposed a program that could have worked, but it didn't. It worked completely the opposite way because of the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability system that was built into the program. So, and I don't want to misspeak, but the Attorney General is looking into it.
The governor says recoupment of boost money is a possibility, considering the CNMI's financial state.
If necessary, recoup some of those funds. But, you know, that was the tip of the iceberg. 17 million of $500 million is really just a small fraction of it. And we're going to look at everything.
The jury reaches a verdict for a local male accused of selling drugs. Joseph T. White is found not guilty by a jury late Tuesday afternoon. This was the first jury trial of the year, which lasted for only 2 days. Chief Prosecutor Chester Hines provided audio recording and a testimony from the confidential informant while presenting his case to the jury. Hines told jurors that in the July 13th audio recording, you can clearly hear White saying he will get the smokes and come back. Defense attorney Tyler Scott, who represents White, told jurors that the police work was lazy and incredibly incompetent. Scott says there is no video and no evidence that his client was in the vehicle at the arranged location. The jury reached a verdict past 5 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, finding White not guilty. According to court documents back in July of 2022, authorities say White sold crystal meth to an undercover source in 2 separate buy-walk operations. DPS, along with the Drug Enforcement Task Force, arrested and executed a search warrant for White on Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022, at the Beach Garden Motel in Garapan. White does have several drug trafficking arrests and was also a part of the drug court program back in 2018. In tourism news, 2 legacy air carriers currently service the NMI, and in a short time, it will be just 1. MVA is hoping a scaled-down version of the Pika Festival can keep the heat alive.
Tourism from Japan has had a rough restart. United launched direct service in September 2022, and MVA has helped to subsidize the flights. Flights are now scheduled through August. The flights depart Japan late in the evening, Tokyo time, and arrive here early morning. They depart on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the return to Japan just after 7 a.m. It's not a great schedule for tourists, and tourism officials are lobbying United to change the flight times to something more conducive to vacation travel from Japan. Flights aren't cheap, about $1,000 round trip. More airline news. Asiana Airlines will suspend service in March from Saipan. The last scheduled flight for Asiana is March 1st. No indication if the service will return. Tinian Pika Festival.
The Tinian mayor wants us to continue on with this event. He will also, his office is also looking at other funding source, and the latest request that I got from the Tinian mayor's office is MDA can put out $10,000.
They had raised money by sponsorship, and so they were able to raise about $14,000, and then still they need 25, so she's asking if we can cover the $10,000.
The board voted 4-2 to not put money into this year's Pika Festival. With MVA finances in serious jeopardy, the board decided to not commit money that it very well might not have.
Mr. Alan Perez, the CEO, said that the mayor still intends to go ahead with the Hot Pepper Festival on a smaller scale, without the Pika race, without the fishing derby.
MVA has a number of signature events scheduled for the year, including the Taste of the Marianas, Saipan Marathon, and the Hell of the Marianas. All could face similar fates in the coming months. The board has also decided to issue an RFP for office space, as they will continue to look at all expenses. The managing director position remains open, and a job description is on the MVA website. It's scheduled to close on January the 31st. The next board meeting is scheduled for February.
Guam's only animal shelter vet partners with a local rescue group to provide safe services to pets. The spay and neuter clinic is now ongoing at the Saipan Animal Shelter in Asperdido. It's led by Boonie Babies, Guam Animals in Need, and the Saipan Mayor Office's Dog Control Program.
So this is Boonie Babies' second spay-neuter clinic. We had one last summer where we spayed and neutered 500 animals over the course of a month. This one is a shorter clinic. It's 1 week long. It's brought to us by Guam Animals in Need, or GAIN, the animal shelter on Guam, in collaboration with Boonie Babies and the Mayor's Office Dog Control Program, who we definitely couldn't do this without. Our goal is to sterilize 20 animals per day, which is a very good number, and we hope to bring this back at least quarterly with this group and even more frequently with other groups.
Lauren Cabrera, who is a volunteer with Boonie Babies, says they were able to service 11 dogs and 8 cats on the first day. The process is quick and pain-free. Once you confirm your appointment, you can bring your pet to the Saipan Animal Shelter and wait for pickup time. Cabrera walks us through the steps.
Then when it's the dog's turn, we get them out and we bring them in and we give it a shot to sedate the dog. And they go to sleep, and we shave them and prepare them for surgery. We shave whatever area we'll be operating on. We give them an anti-inflammatory shot. We put a breathing tube in, and then we wait until the doctor is ready. And when the vet's ready, we bring them to the surgery room where they do the surgery. A spay usually takes about 20 minutes, and a neuter can be a little shorter. A cat neuter or a cat spay can be even shorter, like a cat neuter can be 5 minutes.
Once surgery is done, volunteers and workers will stay with your pet for comfort and support. Cabrera says it usually takes 10 days before your pet is back to its normal state. Program Manager Martin Pangilinan.
We do have, like what Mayor R.B. Camacho said, we do have a vet, but very limited services. So that's when we reach out to our partners and we coordinate to make this event possible.
The goal is to spay and neuter at least 20 dogs or cats a day. Saipan Mayor R.B. Camacho reminds the public to stay aware of their pet doings.
It's good to reduce the population. You know, you can have your pet, but it controls, giving birth or, breeding. They can breed, but they cannot produce. So it's a good control, and that's what we need here. And, I just want to remind the pet owners that even though they attack your dog, doesn't mean that you're free from liability. If you secure your dog within your property, of course, that is supposed to be. But if the dog go outside the street on the public road and injure somebody, that's a different story. So again, it's just a reminder to the pet owners to please, take care of your dog and control it. Because it doesn't mean that when your dog is attacked, you're free on liability. It's not.
Appointments for the spay and neuter clinic are full at the moment, but interested pet owners are encouraged to sign up for the wait list at www.tinyurl.com/booniebabies. Prices vary. It's $50 for a male cat neuter, $75 for a cat spay, and $75 for a dog neuter or spay. If your dog weighs more than 60 pounds, surgery will be $100. Coming up, construction projects may cause traffic in the Paseo area. Stay tuned.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Garapan roads may be a little more congested than usual. Upcoming construction projects means road closure. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation announces a construction phase of a sewer replacement project within the Hotel District of Garapan. CUC's contractor, R&V Construction, has received approval to initiate road restrictions on Royal Palm Avenue and Ginger Avenue from Palm Street to Micro Beach. Roads will be closed during work hours beginning Thursday, January 26 until March 31. Residents and businesses around the area will be provided with detailed directions as to when and how to access their property. For the public, detour signs will be displayed. CUC customers in the area may be asked by R&V to limit water use while individual sewer services are replaced. There will be no disruptions to their power, water, or wastewater as a result of the work. The project is part of the Sewer Main Replacement Phase 2, which is funded by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, providing a more reliable sewer system. The transition work is in part of the decommissioning of the old sewer line and will replace with a PVC pipe. The public is encouraged to avoid these areas during construction. For more information, you can call the CUC hotline at 670-236-4333. If you want the tallest, the biggest, or the longest, you can find it in the desert. Our Chris Nelson explores some of the major tourist attractions of Dubai. Tonight, it's camels, ATVs, sandboarding, and star watching.
Dubai has some major attractions. The Dubai Frame, which puts you in the picture 500 feet above the ground and with a view of both old and new Dubai. The longest zip line in the world, which gets you up to speeds of 90 miles per hour. Indoor skiing or snowboarding inside a shopping mall. The Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world that takes you up over 2,000 feet in the sky. One of the more popular activities in Dubai, a natural attraction of sorts, is going on a desert safari. It starts with an ATV ride out here in the Labab Desert, about an hour outside of Dubai. For those that prefer the safety of a buggy, there are side-by-sides available as well. Traditional garb is used for protection from the sand, and the experience starts with a safety demonstration.
You have 2 brakes at your disposal. use them together and be gentle with the brakes. Too much force, it will throw you off. If you use only one side, you'll be dancing in the desert. Don't dance in the desert. Okay?
Watch the turns, watch the speed, don't tailgate the person in front of you, and
whilst you are driving, please remember to keep your feet away from the engine. It's very hot. It will barbecue your legs. Yes, barbecue for dinner. If you sit too close, your legs will burn, okay? So keep your legs away from the engine.
time to start the engines. With the drone shot from above, you can see the wide open space that is out here. And we have some fun playing in the sand, but you do have to be careful. Sand is pretty deep and it's easy to get stuck out here. Thankfully, AAA is not too far away. After about 30 minutes of driving, we stop on the top of a sand dune and get some water, and the guides pull out some snowboards for some sandboarding down the side of the dunes. It's kind of fun to slide down and a good place to stop and take some pictures and test your balance. By the time we finish, it's just about time for sunset. One unlucky buggy gets towed out for repairs, and the guides bring out a 5-year-old falcon. What's his name? Shaheen? Wow. And there's more. It's off to a desert camp where you get to meet a camel. His trainer says they can carry up to 300 kilograms. How many years are the camels?
Life?
Yeah.
Oh, 35.
They can live 35?
Yes.
Next to the camel rides, the music is playing, and I guess that means it is dinner time for a desert barbecue. After dinner, some performances. Tell me this guy doesn't get super dizzy. You simply cannot win an argument with this guy. You just feel like you're going around in circles. Then, some traditional desert dancing, which is provided by a lady from the Philippines. Hey, wait a second. After dancing, it's time for a little star watching. From the desert, Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Bring your friends in for the best night out at Godfather's Bar in Garabin. Sing along to your favorite hits with live music from the Gigolos. Godfather's has daily food and drink specials, like Taco Tuesdays. The best pizza on island every day of the week. Located on Palm Street in Garabin.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
The American Red Cross NMI chapter is partnering with Run Saipan to host a 5-kilometer fun run on Saturday, February 11th in Dandan. The race will start at 6 in the morning. The course will be around the airport field in Dandan, and the finish line will be at the American Red Cross office. Registration is now $25 until February 5, and then it will go up to $30 from February 6 until race day. All proceeds from this event will go to support the Red Cross here in the Sinamay. Registration can be made at raceroster.com. For more information about this event, you can contact the Red Cross office at 670-234-3459 or Ed De La Cruz of Run Saipan at 670-287-0891. The American Red Cross shelters, feeds, and provides emotional support to victims of disasters. They also supply about 40% of the nation's blood. They teach skills that save lives, provides international humanitarian aid, and they support military members and their families. The Red Cross is a non-for-profit organization that depends on volunteers and generosity of the public to perform its mission. For more information about Red Cross, you can visit their website at redcross.org.nmi.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goats Gym, and today we're going to go over the cable lat pull down. Now what we want to remember with machine-based exercises, there's really no right or wrong way of doing it. There's multiple ways of executing the exercise. What you'll often see is lifters executing the exercise in this fashion, and instead of working the muscles of your upper back, you're just irritating the shoulder joint, which is what you don't want. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. Let's sit upright a little bit more. Okay, as you get a full stretch, bring it down with your elbows coming in. So in general, as you set up this way, you're going to be feeling majority of the impulse right here, which is your lats. Okay. He's getting a full stretch and he's getting a full squeeze in the bottom.
And for the KSPN weather report, today partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Highs near 86, chance of showers is at 20%. Tonight, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 76, chance of showers is at 20%. For the weather forecast for the rest of the week, breezy, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 15 to 25 miles per hour. Highs around 86, lows near 77. Chance of showers is at 10%. For the marine forecast, moderate to fresh trade winds will become fresh to strong on Thursday. Combined seas of 6 to 8 feet will jump to between 9 and 12 feet Thursday night due to large northwest swell, trade swell, and wind waves. Low tide will be at 4:55 p.m., high tide at 10:05 p.m. And that does it for your midweek edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. As always, thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you back on Friday with more.